Hey, welcome back. This is Dances, and today I just like to talk to you about a few quality of life add-ons that I pretty much recommend to anyone. And if you don't like using those, I definitely understand, but I just like to fire off my list here and let you know how to make the most of some of these too as we go through. The first one I'm going to be talking about is Deadly Boss Mods, and I'm sure most of you already have this one installed, so this first one's going to go quick. It has very helpful tools for boss encounters, and it puts timers on bosses' abilities so you know when to expect the boss to be doing the thing that you need to watch out for. And if you don't have Deadly Boss mods or some similar add-on, you won't see people's break timers when they do a break timer or a pull timer for the boss. So you want to have this one. And it does things like it'll do warnings like this for when the bosses do abilities, and there's lots of cool things you can set up in the options. I'm not going to go over everything, but people should know about this one already for the most part. Um, but you should get like Deadly Moss mods if you don't have it already. It's a very useful add-on. Next add-on I wanted to show you is Pawn. This is most useful for quickly identifying upgrades. So, say for example, I see in my bag here that's got a green arrow on it. Pawn is telling you that's a 6% upgrade compared to one of my other rings that I'm wearing, and it's saying this legendary would be better than. Obviously, I can't wear 3 legendaries, but it's telling me this legendary is better than that helm. So, it also, you can choose the idea. Alright, those last two add-ons pretty much everyone uses, but the next three I feel like aren't quite as popular, but are maybe even more useful than Pawn and DBM were. This one is GTFO, and I'll just let you hear what this one does. As you can see, as I'm standing in this fire, it is giving me a notification of my mistake, and it will continue to do so as long as I stand in the fire. Every time the fire would tick on me, it would yell at me again. This trains you like a shock collar would on some kind of animal that you're trying to keep in a yard or whatever, not to stand in the fire. You will eventually just learn which abilities you don't stand in, and because of that annoying audio sound, you are automatically going to try to not stand in those things for any amount of time. You get out of them right away, compared to when you see your health going down, but you see your health go back up, there's a healer healing you. Maybe it's okay to stand in the fire for another cast or two before I move out of it. No, you should be moving out of fire, and this add-on will save your life if you use it repeatedly and over time. It will save your life. It will make you a better player if you are starting out. So please pick up GTFO for your own good. The next add-on I wanted to talk about is actually I'm using it right now in tandem with World Quest Tracker, which is great, but I'm not really talking about World Quest Tracker right now because I'm not sure how valid that's going to be moving forward. The add-on I'm really talking about is good for questing as well, and it's TomTom. Right now, using it in tandem with the World Quest Tracker, I can click on one of these World Quests, and you can see it gives me a handy little arrow, which will show me which direction I need to be going. If I'm going the wrong way, it turns red, and that's super useful. And it also gives you a helpful time estimate as well, which is good. If it's going to be a minute, and I know it's going to be a minute, I might run up and refill my water and run back to the seat before that minute ends because I know I've got enough time. Things like that are useful, so that's pretty good to know. You can also create custom waypoints. Say for example, right here, this is part of TomTom as well, and it gives you the coordinates of wherever you're at. Say for example, my friend wanted to come help me and I was getting ganked. I would say, help, help, I'm at 5092, 5755, and he'd say, where's that? You type in way 50.92, comma 57.55. Now let me move away from that point a little bit so it'll give me an arrow back to exactly where I was, because that's where I was standing. I'm just kind of showing you how this works. And see, it says I put in a Tom waypoint right over here. You see how that works and how that could be helpful. You could say it in chat like, hey, there's horde right here ganking. Somebody needs to please come. They're not even in your group, and they'll know that's where to go. And sometimes you're looking for a quest item. It's taking you forever. You have to look it up on Wowhead, for example, and they give you those coordinates, but that doesn't help you. If you have TomTom, it does help you. So that's what TomTom is. Sometimes TomTom doesn't work. Say, for example, I wanted to put a waypoint into a different zone. These don't always work. This one did, but sometimes that glitches out, and that's where Mapline comes in useful. You can see what Mapline does. It's very simple. It puts a line from wherever you are to wherever you're facing on the map, which is very handy for navigation as well. That's why I'm lumping these TomTom and Mapline into one category where they're very useful for navigation. Either one is handy and both is very handy. So that's TomTom and Mapline. If you like the way those look, I suggest downloading both. Finally, the last add-on I want to show you was Auto Vendor, and this one's pretty simple. What it does is, you can see I've got some junk in my bags here, and when I click the button, it's just going to sell all that junk. You can even add white items that are not gray to a junk list, and it will automatically sell those as well. Say, for example, I want to add this item to the junk list. I type /junk and shift click the item, and it will add it to the junk list, and it will sell those as well if I get those in the future. You will notice that it did not sell my bind on equip items. It keeps those because it knows you might want to sell them. So that's the Auto Vendor add-on, and what it also has, it has some options you're going to want to play with when you set it up. You can tell it to sell unusable soulbound gear. That's gear that's not usable by your class, or non-optimal soulbound gear. That's items like cloth when you're a leather wearer. I don't do this fortune card thing, and this is important to note. This slider goes all the way up to 1,000. Do not put it that high. Nobody has items that high anymore. So make sure you're setting that at a reasonable level, like 180s or something like that. Anything that's an item level 180, I'm just going to go ahead and automatically vent that. Which is probably not a good idea for me to do on this character, actually, because of the fact that I can disenchant this stuff. So I'm not going to do that on this character. I'm going to uncheck that option. But if you're not an enchanter, I suggest using that. Okay, so that was my guide on, you know, some of the best quality life add-ons you can have. Do you have any add-ons that are not on this list that you feel people should get? These, I just wanted to make, you know, a quick video for, this is for newer players and people just getting into the game who are wondering what add-ons does, you know, does it make a difference that I have. These you should have. You should go ahead and get these. If you don't have them, try them out, see how you like them. Thanks for watching. This is Dances.